Previously on Todd Reacts. I keep mentioning 20-something-year-old girls, and, I mentioned that I'm 41 years old, and so I wonder how creepy that makes me sound. Now, I never really pay attention to that, but I just thought before I was making this video, like, if I was actually talking to a 20-something-year-old girl, she would probably think I was absolutely disgusting, right? If I told her how old I was. Like, I don't think I look necessarily that old, but if I actually said how old I was, they would probably be absolutely disgusted. If they weren't already, just judging by my looks, my appearance, or my personality. By the way, I just have to change the channel. I have to put it to Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I'm not creepy, I swear. She was 20 for the whole series. She was over 20, so shut up. And now for the conclusion. Hey guys, in this video we are going to be looking at my Bandcamp stats. We are going to be figuring out, we're going to take a little peek into my Bandcamp stats, and we're going to figure out what my most popular albums are of mine, of ones that I've released. So people have bought and or downloaded my albums over the last 12 years, I believe, from Bandcamp, and all of that information has accumulated into the statistics, and we're going to take a little peek-see into the statistics, and we're going to determine what are the most popular albums by me, according to the people. Now, just a little warning here. I already started this video like an hour ago almost, and I was like, basically, almost half of the video was me just doing math. So I decided to just redo it. So hopefully I get all the information out that I originally got out in the first iteration of the video. Now, I've been on Bandcamp since 2012. So I've been releasing music since 1997, as you can see right down here. Nostril Caverns is Chris Balch since 1997. Chris Balch is me. Nostril Caverns is my band. And it wasn't always named that. It originally was named Crippler, actually, in the early days back in the late 90s, 1997 until 99, I guess. And then 1999, I switched the name to Time of Death. And then in 2012, I switched the name to Nostril Caverns. And next year, I will change the name again. I just don't know what the name's going to be. It's turned into a tradition. Every 13 years, I'm going to change the name. And so next year is the year for that. So I've had this page since 2012, but I've been uploading my music since the late 90s. The first song I uploaded was on Napster, way back in Napster. And then there was a webpage called mp3.com where people, if you were a musician, you could upload your music there, and then people could listen to it, people could stream it. Streaming back then was really not good at all. I'm not even sure if you could stream back then. Honestly, I don't think you could. You had to download the file and then listen to it, because streaming did not really exist back then. That was pre-YouTube. I feel like there was something called Real Player that tried to stream, but it was horrible. But then mp3.com, I had a webpage on there. I don't think, and then I think I had to change web pages again because mp3.com stopped people from uploading stuff for free. And then, so there's this other page called iuma.com. I don't know what that stood for, but it was another free place where you could upload your music and people could download it. And then after that, I don't remember what happened after that, but I remember starting a MySpace page, and I still have the page still exists now. It's myspace.com/Time of Death. It still exists, but I haven't logged in years. Actually, because MySpace changed their design layout in probably 14 years ago or something, and then people just got really mad and they never went back. And so I think people started making Facebook pages and stuff like that. I did have a Facebook page as well, but I discontinued that because whenever I would post a new update, Facebook would make you boost your post, meaning that you would have to pay them money so that people who follow you can see the post in their timeline. So I was like, fuck this. And not that they even care that I'm not on the website anymore. Not that Facebook itself, I mean, cares, but I'm not playing those stupid games. So I stopped going to Facebook entirely. And then, so what I'm trying to say is, I've been involved in uploading music online since the late 90s. And I was also a part of many music message boards. And so I think the first one that I remember, at least, was the first music message board that I remember is the Cannibal Corpse message board way back in the late 90s. And I remember posting something pretty cringy. At that time, I was recording onto cassette tapes, just guitar. And I was putting together some sort of demo that just had guitar, no vocals, no drums, no anything else. But I was getting really psyched about it. And I remember posting on the Cannibal Corpse message board something stupid like, it was going to be called Ancient Tales from the Forest of Death. That's what the name was. And I remember posting something like Ancient Tales of the Forest of Death, get ready for it, or something like that. And no one replied to the post, and it was literally no information. That's all that I said about it. And I never finished the demo. I did record some of the songs, but I mean, it was just guitar. But yeah, I was on the Cannibal Corpse message board. And then, so what I'm trying to say is how I came across Bandcamp, how I learned about Bandcamp was through a music message board. Now, because you'd be on these message boards and people would post music, whether it was theirs or someone else's. And I started seeing this Bandcamp link being shared. And then I decided it looked like it was a cool website. So I created my own account, and it's an amazing resource for musicians because you can upload as many songs, as many albums as you want for free. It doesn't cost the musician anything. And then people can listen to it. So like, which one should I'll click on this one. And so I uploaded this album. It's got 48 tracks. I don't know if there's a limit on the tracks. One of my albums has 490 tracks. And when I was uploading the songs, it took forever. There is so much of a delay as you get to have so many songs. So there's probably like more of a physical limit as to how many tracks you can put up as opposed to like a hard-coded limit. So, but yeah, you can upload as many songs, as many albums, and people can stream them. And so that's really cool. I mean, there've been lots of websites like that, but the great thing, the even better thing about Bandcamp is that you can sell your music on there as well. And so now there's no price here because I have it set to name your price. So someone can literally type 0, they can download for free, or they can type a number and pay money for it. And then I will get some of the proceeds from that. And so now there is a version of Bandcamp. I think it's called Bandcamp Premium. So if you're a musician, you can sign up for that. It's like a monthly bill or whatever, and you get more features. I just have the free version of Bandcamp. I don't know if this is true or not. But so what I don't know if it's true is, so Bandcamp, normally they take a cut of any sales that you make. So for digital, they take 15%, 1.5, and for like physical sales, like CDs, they take 10%, which is very low. I mean, compare that to any other website. There's literally no website that's similar to Bandcamp in terms of like the payout percentages and stuff like that. So they really have no competition. But what I wasn't sure about is so let's say you have Bandcamp Premium. I wonder if you get more of a cut compared with the free version of Bandcamp. Honestly, I don't think that's true. So, but you do get some extra features with Bandcamp Premium. I remember I did sign up for 1 month for Bandcamp Premium when I was uploading that one album that had 490 songs, because when you have Bandcamp Premium, it lets you do batch uploading. And so normally, if you have the free version, you have to like hit upload every time you want to upload a song. Whereas with the 490 song album, all I did was I like highlighted all of them and then just hit upload. And then so that came in really handy. So I've had my Bandcamp page since 2012. So I've been selling stuff on Bandcamp for 14 years. And we're going to go, so you can see how many albums I have actually. So it goes down here. These are all CDs. You can ignore all these. But it's starting from here, this Cassette Jams, 1997, and it goes all the way up to here. So there's quite a bit of music here. All right, so let's go to the stats. We want to go to the sales, and we want to go to all time. Okay. So by the way, I just want to warn people, you know, even though I've been making music for a long time, these sale numbers are quite modest. they're quite modest. So just warning people, even though, you know, they're still bigger than some people, I guess, but I mean, it's looking pretty dreary. But I mean, that's just the life of a musician. You don't know if someone's going to like your music or not. If you're going to release music, you sort of have to do it for yourself. You have to make the music for yourself. And because if you want to make music, if you want to keep making music, you don't want to have to rely on others to feel the same way about it as you do. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Because if you release something and it doesn't get any attention, then you're left feeling really depressed and you don't want to make music anymore. So, I mean, it's easy to say that. It's harder to actually put that into practice. But, you know, over the years, I've definitely, like whenever I release an album, I literally, I'm fully expecting not to sell any copies at all. So when you actually do sell a copy, it's quite a nice surprise. And so that's how I've been able to keep making music for so long. So $950 total sales over 12 years. That's not bad, right? I feel like that's enough to live off of, right? I guess not, but that's why music is just a hobby for me. But yeah, so basically my first version of this video, there's like, I can't speak. So right here, Sanity's Unnecessary Elaborations. This is the digital version. And then there's another one right here that is a CD version. So what I did in the previous video, I had to add those together. And so I created a text file, and most of the video was spent doing this. And it was not interesting at all. So I thought, screw this, I'm just going to start a new video. So that's what I did. So now we've magically already done all of the math. And so what are we going to do? We're basically just going to see what the true top 10 is. And we're going to do downloads after that as well. We might even go to plays as well. See what, got a hair in my mouth. See what my most played songs are. I do have a lot of downloads. So all of my downloads are set to name your price. And so people can literally type 0, download it for free. A lot of people have done that, which is totally fine. I love when people download my albums, whether they pay for it or not, because I see the little number pop up and I get excited and I get happy. Same with the plays. I love when people play, hit the play button. It feels really good. I do have a lot of plays, I feel like. We'll go to the plays as well, yeah. So, I don't know what I was trying to say, but okay, so Sanity's Unnecessary Elaborations. That is the top spot. So it has 21 digital purchases, I should say, digital purchases, and it has. So I released, I guess, 2 versions of the CD, and so one of the versions has 1 purchase, and the other one has 5. So that's 6 CDs I've sold, and 21 digitals. So basically, in this era of music, I don't know if this is true for all musicians, but at least for me, more people buy the digital than the physical. So, and that's the same with every single album. So that's a total of 27. So this one is by far my highest selling album, Sanity's Unnecessary Elaborations. So it's got quite a nice CD cover. I took this photo, by the way. This was an absolutely insane night. I think I talked about this in one of my previous videos. So this was in Sudbury, Ontario. And so basically, this guy, my friend's father was also friends with my dad. And he knew I was taking photos of like sunsets and stuff like that. And so he called he saw this himself, and he called my dad to tell me about this sunset. And my dad told me about it. And so I go outside and I'm like, I just look up. I couldn't see the sunset itself from my neighborhood because there were a lot of trees and stuff. I go to a specific place to take all these photos. But I just looked up and everything was glowing. It was insane. This was the craziest sunset I've ever seen. And so everything was glowing. So I'm like, okay. So I run up the hill, I run into the woods, and I run on top of the rocks where I go to because it's really high up and it's perfect for taking photos. And I took this photo. This one was edited slightly to enhance the colors, but still the colors were absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I'm very happy with how this looks. You can see that it's got like gray or blue here, and then over here it's underneath the clouds. But that's just the cover. Now this album is really cool. I'm really happy that this is my most popular album. Actually, this album got some press, so I think that's why it has so many like there was an article that was written about it, and I think it gained some attention from there. I say that, and it's only sold 27 copies, but that's a lot for one of my albums. So, but yeah, this album's really interesting in the sense that I'm not going to read this entire thing because there's a lot of shit here. But so this song, Logical. So first of all, the song titles all start with the letter I, and that's I guess a bit of an Easter egg. Now there's no reason, like there's no special reason, no hidden reason behind that. It's just, hey, let's name all the song titles with I. That's literally it. There's no secret meaning. Now, but yeah, the reason this is so interesting is because this track 1, track 3, and track 5, they each have 100 sections. And so basically section, I just mean like a measure in Power Tab. So I was tabbing the song out in Power Tab, and I keep hitting my microphone. And so it's a measure, but I didn't use any like bar, what the hell are those things called? Music bars. Like, what if I were to do this? Where the hell? I haven't used this in so long, this program. Oh, here it is. Music bar, yeah. Yeah, so basically just a measure, and I was sort of ignoring the time signatures. So the measure could go for however long I want, but it was basically just I had to fit as much music as I want, whether it's like 2 notes or whether it's like 20 notes in this measure, and that will be one section. And so each of these songs have 100 of those per song, and none of them repeat. So they're all unique. And so memorizing these songs was an absolute shit show. So I would memorize the song on drums and guitar, and then I would record them, and then I would go to the next song, and I would record that, and then I would go to the next song. And each time I went to the next song, I sort of had to put the previous song out of my head in order to make room for the next song. So this was very interesting, very challenging, and I'm very happy that this is my most popular album. And we're actually going to listen to it as well. That's another thing I wanted to do. So let's press pause. So I have my music folder here. I should have all of my albums here somewhere. So there should be one here, Sandy's and Necessary Elaborations. So which song should we listen to? How about we listen to 3? Yeah, and it just keeps going. You can see, I don't know if you noticed, but none of those riffs repeated. So, I mean, just imagine memorizing that. It was an absolute bitch, but it was, I mean, I could still remember it. I wouldn't be able to play it on guitar right now, that's for sure. I would have to go through the tab again, but I can remember the sequence of riffs, at least when I'm like listening to it, and I can follow along with my ears. But I don't remember what the fingerings were. So that is that album. So what's up next? Up next, we have Implanted Perceptions with 12 total. Here it is right here. This is number 2. This is the true number 2. So this has 11 digitals, right? Yeah, 11 digitals and 1 CD sale. So we have 12 total purchases. And so this one has 48 tracks. This is a sequel to my Spatial Lacerations album, which has 99 tracks. And each of the songs on Spatial Lacerations, actually there's 90 tracks, and then there are 9, like, what the hell is that called? Ambient noise tracks. And so for the 90, like, music tracks, there was a limit of 30 seconds. So every song had to be under 30 seconds. And for this one, there were 48 tracks, and each of these had to be 40 seconds. So, and they all were 40 seconds when I made them in Power Tab, and the MIDIs were 40 seconds long. You can see the actual time goes from 40 seconds to 39 seconds, but when I was making it in Power Tab, it always ended up being 40 seconds. And so, they're not, Spatial Lacerations is longer than this one. This album is 32 minutes. So 40 seconds times 48 tracks is 32 minutes. So it's about 32 minutes. I guess it's a little less than 32 minutes if some of these are 39. But this is actually, I'm kind of surprised that this has so many copies sold, because I just released this last year. This might not even be a year old. When did I release this, by the way? December. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, it's November. This isn't even a year old, and it's sold 12 copies. Wow. I'm shocked. Now, I'm trying to think how I promoted this. I did, like, when you release something on Bandcamp, you have the ability to write something. So if I go to, like, add album. No, I don't want to. You can type a message. Holy shit, I've got 154 followers. I feel like that's way more than last time. That's really good. Huh. I'm getting viral. I'm becoming viral. I'm a music star. I'm a rock star. But yeah, you can type a message, and when you publish, so first you have to save your draft, and then you can publish it and publish the album, and it'll send like a note to all your followers. I think maybe even anyone who's ever downloaded or bought something from you before. And then I think that's the only way I promoted this, through my followers. So not bad. And it's second in the list. Now, I really like this album musically. The recording though, it really bothers me, because every time I work on an album, getting the sound, like the sound production quality, it's just that I can never do it right. I can almost never do it right, But this one, I had problems with it. I still think the drums are too loud. I can never get the drums right. But, I mean, it's okay. It's okay, I guess. But musically, I'm really happy with this. I made a video, actually. Yeah, let's watch the video. Let's watch the video. We're just going to watch like a little bit of the video. Here it is right here. A live video, yeah. Yeah, so this is me playing through the entire album on guitar. And so I practiced this for a few months, actually, every day, virtually every day. And I did make a video. Now, the sound quality is really bad because it's just, I recorded it with my phone. So this was just a test video. This wasn't going to be the final video because I was working towards the final video, but I've never used my phone to do the 1080p 60 FPS videos. I never tried that. And so that's what I did here. I wanted to try that setting. And so I didn't mic up my guitar. It's just the mic and the camera that's picking up the sound. So it's very bad. The sound quality is very bad, but I was having problems with my wrist, so I can't make the video anymore. So I just ended up releasing this as it is. So we're just going to listen to one more song. But I did the whole thing in one take. No edits. And I did make some mistakes, but honestly, I did a really good performance. And I only made like one really big mistake on one song. Yeah, okay. Okay. I just wanted to show that song as well. That song is really out to lunch. Now, I made a video actually so before I started doing this, it was after I finished writing the guitars and I was about to start memorizing them. I made a video, and I'm going to watch that video. I'm going to react to that video at a later date, but it was very funny because this song was the second song I learned. And I spent an hour and a half trying to learn this song, trying to learn all the sections. Because there's a lot of, there are 48, no, I forget how many sections there are. There's a lot of measures in this song. And a lot of, like, the timing keeps changing. The riffs keep changing slightly. And it's just a lot of memorization stuff. And I was just getting so angry in the video. But at the end, I finally was able to play through it once. But still, it still took a lot of time to get this down. And this was 27 minutes into the video, and I played this song flawlessly. So it ended up working out. Now I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to actually listen to one of the album versions of the songs. Implanted Perceptions. Okay, so it's not there. It must still be here. So we'll go to recording, we'll go to mix downs, we'll go to mix 3. All right, so which song should we listen to? Which song shall we listen to? What's a good song on this album? Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't sound too bad. I'm okay with it. It's just I find like the drums are a little too loud. That's my problem with every single thing I release. The drums are always too loud. But yeah, it's a really good album. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Okay, so let's go to the next one. We listened to 3 songs on that album. So now this is SL. So that's Spatial Lacerations. That is the original version of the version of the CD that it's the original album that inspired Implanted Perception. So very similar style of songwriting, very short songs, 30-second songs. The riffs keep changing. They're all fast. So let's go right there. This one has 12, just like the previous one. So yeah, 99 tracks. 99 tracks. And so basically every 10 tracks, after every 10 tracks, it has one of these songs, Phonetic Thoughts 1. And so it goes from 1 to 9. So after every 10 tracks, there's another version of Phonetic Thoughts. And what Phonetic Thoughts is, it is an ambient noise track that's split up into 9 sections. And so I had written that song, I don't remember, in 2016, I think. The reason I wrote it was for a live show. Me and my buddy, we were playing a live show, and I was playing drums along to the song. Now, originally, the Phonetic Thoughts songs did not have any drums. I think I have a video of that, actually. We should watch that video. We'll watch that video after. There's a video of part of like a little excerpt from the live show where I'm playing drums along to the music. So yeah, this was 2017. This was my first 99 track album. Stipulation. It wasn't technically the first. It was my first composed 99 track album, because the year prior I released a 99 track album, but it was all improvised. It was all free jazz. So with free jazz, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to practice. You don't have to do anything, no preparation or anything. But with this, there was a lot of preparation. I had to write every single song and practice every single song. And I had to write guitar and drums and vocals, but just a shitload of riffs on this and the previous album that we checked out, Implanted Perceptions. All right, so let's go. Oh shit, I closed it. Let's go to music. I will do this again. Should we go to ISO? Spatial Lacerations. Oh shit. So I have to memorize what. So okay, the past couple videos I've shown a picture of my dogs, and there's a sad sounding song in the background, and that's actually from this album. It is this song right here. I really like that. That is that riff there that sort of appears in multiple of the Phonetic Thoughts songs. And so this one was the most chilled out version, because there's more instruments that come in later in each of those different songs. Like this one. And, it's kind of interesting. So I don't know if it's interesting or not, but when I wrote the song, it was like a full song. It wasn't cut up into 9 sections. And I added subtle fades to each of the sections. And I never actually released the full song without the fades, the full continuous song. So I was on my laptop, my old laptop, and I did get it from the laptop. So I will release that eventually. But it's kind of funny that I never released it because I wasn't intending on releasing it. I literally just made the song to play drums along to it at the live show. So it's kind of funny. But the meat of this album is the metal. So I'm just trying to think, what is my favorite song? I think it's 53, to be honest. I think this is my favorite song. Okay, so there's 4 songs right there. So there's a lot of riffs on this album. I had a lot of fun doing it, creating all those riffs, writing all the riffs. Now, I didn't really have trouble doing it, but it was, as I've gotten older, more experienced, I can sort of pump out these riffs a lot more easily. So I had a lot of fun writing this. I would write, multiple songs a day, and I just keep going because the goal was 99. And so that's what I did. All right. So what do we have next? We have PT. I think this is Perverse Teleportation. Perverse Teleportation. Right? Okay. So it's all the way down here. Why is it all the way down here? Because it has 3 CD sales. So it has 7 total. Okay, so Perverse Teleportation. This is from 2019. All right, so this one has 20 songs. So I remember doing this. So basically this album is sort of like a black metal album. And half of the songs are ambient noise. The other half are black metal. And it alternates between those. So the Perverse Teleportation ones, so it's kind of a similar scenario with the Spatial Lacerations ones. So the Teleportation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those are the ambient noise tracks, and the other ones are just the regular black metal songs. And so I remember doing this album. I forget how I recorded. I think I recorded on my laptop. I had my guitar. I didn't have it plugged in. And I was coming up with riffs with my guitar unplugged, what's the word? with a lot of ringing notes and stuff like that. There was no distortion. I didn't have it plugged in, as I mentioned. And I recorded it on my laptop. And so I had a bunch of wave files. The riffs weren't structured or anything. And then eventually I had all these wave files, and I structured all of them into their own songs. And I added drums and I added vocals. Now, the one thing I don't like about this album is the drums are a little too loud and the vocals are too loud as well. And I don't like the vocals. What I should have done with the vocals, because my vocals are not very good. So what I should have done with the vocals, I should have added some distortion, and I should have turned the volume down as well, because it's kind of annoying, to be honest. So this just needs a little bit of extra mixing in order to be a better album. But I do like the songs, and I really like sort of how I approach the songwriting, because the songs themselves are quite simple. Like, they're not super complex, but they're fast. I really like the drumming. The drumming is straightforward and just a lot of blast beats and other stuff like that. And see, the songs themselves are very straightforward, and they're quite short as well. They're like 2 minutes something. So, all right, so let's go to that folder, if we know where that folder is. Here it is right here. Okay, oh, by the way, I should have mentioned this. All of the songs, whenever we're doing one of these videos, we have background music. And it's off right now because I'm currently using Windows Media Player to listen to these songs. But I don't know if you recognize this song or not. This is the background music from all the videos I do, all of my Todd Reacts videos. So all of these songs, all of these ambient noise songs, I use them for the background music. So the background music comes from this album, from Perverse Teleportation. Now here's what the black metal sounds like. Yeah, honestly, it sounded better than I remember. I haven't listened to this album in a long time. I don't know when the last time I listened to it was, but the drum volume and the vocals always bothered me, but they're not bothering me as much right now. I don't know. I'm not sure why, but so let's try this one. Yeah, so this song in particular, and this song is one of two songs on the album where I'm not using a pick. I am finger picking the guitars with distortion. I think this is the only album I've ever done that, but I've had the idea of doing that for ages ago. But I think this was literally the first time I ever did it. It sounds good. I mean, sounds like distortion. If you have distortion on it, sounds like distorted guitars. So I think I want to just show one more. I paused that song at the perfect time. I really like this album. It's I really want to do a sequel to it as well, because it was like easy to write for, because the songs were relatively simple, and the hardest part was the drumming, because the drumming is quite fast. That song, especially at the very beginning, it had sort of a couple parts where there were like a lot of drum fills and whatnot. But yeah, I really want to do a sequel to this album. Hopefully I can do a sequel to that album one day. Okay, so what's next? We have SSM. I think it's Spontaneous Synaptic Mutations. I believe that's what's up next. Spontaneous Synaptic Mutations, Part 1. Okay, so yeah, so this album literally has 490 songs. So this album was supposed to have 1,000 songs, but I only did Part 1 so far. You can see it goes all the way down to 490. So this album is absolutely insane. It's separated into 4 or 5 sections. I don't remember. There's negative awareness, introversions, negative awareness. Okay. I think there are 5. So if there are 490 songs, there's like 100. It's separated into 100 song sections. So there's 100, 200, 300, 400. Oh, so maybe that's only 4. 100. No. Because I have to include 500. Yeah, so it's separated into 5. And so for each 100 section, each batch of 100 songs has their own theme. So for this one, introversion's negative awareness, this was basically, there were no rules. And negative awareness means that it was just free jazz. So I did whatever the hell I want. There were no rules. All the drums, the guitars, they do whatever they want. They don't go together at all. There's no vocals in this. Unmuted Dreams, this one has a lot of, the focus was on ringing notes. So I wanted to have a lot of ringing notes. So I really like this one, the Unmuted Dreams one. Romantic Abnormalities, this one, so basically it was all in one scale. So that was the theme of this one. Auditory Hallucinations, this one is hilarious because I used my delay pedal on my guitar. So there's a lot of cool sounds on this one. I've done very similar sounding stuff as these songs on my Octopus Core music. So the delay pedal I have is so amazing for this type of music. And then Introversion's Positive Awareness. So Positive Awareness means I actually wrote music for these songs. So these are composed. However, all of the drums on every single song are completely freely improvised, including for this one. And then for this Positive Awareness batch of songs, I wrote the guitar along to the improvised drums. So it was quite challenging. Some of the drums were just way too all over the place for me to sort of figure out what the hell I was doing and try and write a riff along to it. So some of it is really loose sounding, whereas with other songs, they're very tight. So, I mean, there's 490 songs. We're going to listen to a few of these songs, but I'm honestly surprised that it has, how many sales does it have? It is 6. So I've sold 6 copies of this CD, of this album, I should say, 2 CD copies. Now, I mentioned that there's 490 songs. There are 5, I think it's a 5 CD. Yeah, it's got 5 CDs. So it's like a 5 CD pack. So buying the CD version of this was $35, I think, if you lived in the US, and then $45 if you lived outside of the US. So these people put up their cash for that. So let's go to that album. I don't think it's in here. Oh, it is here. No, it's not. Okay, so where would it be? Spontaneous Synaptic Demo, I think. And then I did record 1,000 drum tracks, but I only did I only finished like half the album with guitars and whatnot. And so I still have to do the other half eventually. But I did this. When did I do this? Back in, oh my God. Like, I forget when I recorded the drums. Oh, come on. Shut up with your, I just need to know when the drums were recorded. February. The drums for all groups were freely improvised first try takes recorded in February of 2017. Okay. I remember that. I also remember one thing about this. So it was February 2017. I was getting ready to record the drums and my drum throne, my seat broke. And so I ended up finding like a chair in storage, some sort of chair, but it wasn't the right height. So I had to screw in 2 pieces of wood on the legs to raise it up a bit. And I used that for my drum throne. And it's still in my music room with the wood on it. I haven't used it since, but holy shit, that was 7 years ago. So what am I doing? I have to go find some songs, right? Mixdowns, is this what I do? V2 Final, is this what I do? Waves, is this what I do? No. 490, is this what I do? Yeah, this must be it. Holy Jesus Christ, 490 songs. All right, so what did I say? 100, so 0 to 100. We're going to listen to like a couple. I don't know what good songs are on this. We're just going to listen to some random songs. Oh my God, I haven't listened to this album in so long. I love it so much. So just remember, each instrument has no idea what each other instrument is doing. Because when I'm recording each instrument, I'm not listening to any other instruments. I'm just listening to what I'm playing. And it's all timed out. So I'm listening to like a metronome click at the beginning, and then it's silent, and then it clicks, and then there's like a count out. It does like 4 clicks, and then it hits to signify that the song ends. And so I stop. Everything stops at the same time and starts at the same time. But none of the instruments knows what each other instrument is doing. It's just completely improvised. And I think that's what I wanted to say. Let's listen to another one. I've listened to this album a lot, and so even though it sounds like complete nonsense, I still recognize every song. So once I heard this album has a very funny start. Oh my God, that song is so good. I forgot about the guitar at the end of the song there. Oh my God. Oh my Jesus. That is good stuff. That is some good stuff. I really have to listen to this album again. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the first section. We'll go to the second section, which is called Unmuted Dreams. So the first section, there was the first batch of songs, I should say. There were no rules. I did whatever I want. For the second section, Unmuted Dreams, there was a lot of ringing notes. So that's the focus on this section. So I do, I mean, you're probably listening to this and it sounds like complete nonsense and absolute bullshit and bad, but that's not the case for me. I actually have favorite songs out of all of these. It's been so long since I've listened to this that I forget what my favorite songs are, like by number. I know what they are by sound, but I'm not about to scroll through 490 songs to figure out what all my favorites are. Now, I released like a demo version of this album before releasing this album, and I did that. I for the demo version, I picked out all my favorite songs, and so I mean, yeah, but I can't remember what they are. So let's go to the next one. The next one is it's all in the same scale. Yeah, this is my least favorite batch of songs from this album. Now, the next one is Auditory Hallucinations. This is my favorite batch of songs. Now, what is the good song? What's a really good song on this? I honestly don't know. I think this is one of the good ones. Yeah, that last one, that was one of my favorites. I remember that one. Now you're probably thinking, they all sound the same. What the fuck is wrong with you? No, they are different. They are different. They have their differences. If you listen to them many times, you start to realize what's going on. And I've listened to them many times. Now, this last section is the one where I actually wrote music. So this is going to sound more like actual music. Depending on which one I pick, I'm not sure. I'm going to start from the end here. Yeah, some of these songs are just insane. Like, I would, because I mean, I would write songs like this, but I wouldn't write them that fast and that sort of crazy. It's just that's how they turned out because the drums were improvised. And so, like, this song especially, this song is probably my favorite song in this batch of songs. It's just crazy. Yeah, that song has a lot of nice melodies in it. I was really happy with how that turned out. It's kind of unfortunate because these songs are so short. How short are they, by the way? Like, I'm hovering over the song. Just show me the stats, you idiot. Okay, 17 songs, 17 seconds. So I think each song was like 16 seconds. That's how long of music appears. And sometimes it might last for 17 seconds or whatever. But it's kind of unfortunate because each song sort of, like, I composed music for this last batch of songs, and it only appears for such a short amount of time. And so I guess it would be nice if I could sort of flesh the songs out a little more, but I might as well just write new songs anyways, because I mean, there's tons of riffs on this song, on this album as well. There's just so many riffs. Okay. I think we spent a lot of time on that album because there are so many songs. So let's go to the next one. The next one is RMG. So that is Repressed Memory Games. This one has 5 total sales. Repressed Memory Games. Okay, so this was now I usually do the artwork for my albums, but I did not do this. Someone else did this. Some guy named Dr. Satan, I believe. It's a very interesting picture. He drew it with pen, it looks like. And so this only has 5 tracks. The Effects of Childbirth, Internal Pulse Calibration, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, these last 3 songs, I remember I wrote them in 2010. So this was released in 2016. I wrote these for my other band, Cora Canning. And Dave didn't want to learn them because there's a lot of riffs in them. So I ended up just recording them myself. And then I released it on a demo. And then I ended up re-recording them for this album. And I made them sort of more aggressive sounding, just by changing my guitar tone and also sort of making the drum parts a little more aggressive as well. And so there's a shitload of riffs on this album. The vocals are extremely sparse. I think there's only vocals on the first 2 tracks, and they only happen like a couple times. So it's basically all instrumental. And then there are some keyboards. Now, so we are going to, and so the drums and guitars recording a full take with no overdubs, punch-ins, or timing manipulation. I should have mentioned that before. Like a lot of those other albums I talked about, they feature the same thing. I recorded the songs in like a full take with no edits. So doing that is very challenging. And these songs as well, specifically that first album we talked about, Sanity's Unnecessary Elaborations, the one that has the most total sales. because they had 100 sections, 100 unique sections, and I had to memorize the whole thing, and I had to play it start to finish without making a mistake, or at least without making an obvious, really bad mistake, an egregious mistake. And I had to do that to record the songs. And so, but yeah, for this one, this one, what are we doing? We are listening to, I forgot what we're doing. We are listening to this album, Repressed Memory Games. So we'll go back to ISO. Here it is right here. Yeah, we'll listen to the first song. Once again, I stopped it at the perfect moment. Very good song. Lots of riffs. Yeah, I was very happy with how this album turned out. Now we'll check out one of these other songs as well. Just trying to think, which song should we check out? There's a part in the song that I really like, but I don't know where it is exactly. Yeah, that part specifically, I really like it. It's unfortunate that it is so short, but the reason I really like it is because, so the original songs didn't have any keyboards in them. I added those later on. So I mentioned these 3 songs, I recorded them in 2010, and then I re-recorded them in 2016. And when I re-recorded them, I also added keyboards, and that keyboard part ended up working out really well, and that's probably my favorite part of the entire song. So, but you can tell the guitars are very dynamic. I used one guitar tone, and when the guitars are more quiet and clean, I didn't play as hard with my right hand. And when they're very distorted, I'm playing very hard. So all of the dynamics were achieved just with my picking, what's the word? My picking pressure, my picking strength. Those aren't the words I'm trying to say, but my picking power. But it was all controlled. The volume was all controlled with my hand, not with the volume knob. I didn't change that at all, just with how hard I picked the strings. Okay, so I'm really impressed by how popular all of these albums are, because I'm very happy with these albums. Now, Okay, this one, I absolutely love this one. Self-inflicted memory loss. That is number 7. Okay, so self-inflicted memory loss. Let's go to there. This is it's actually pretty crazy. Spontaneous synaptic mutations and self-inflicted memory loss. They're both free jazz albums. And they're in my top 10 of most popular albums. So that's actually, I'm kind of shocked because it takes a certain kind of person to actually, subject their ears to this style of music where there's no structure or anything like that. And so the fact, like whenever I release a new free jazz album, I just fully expect that no one's going to buy it. And maybe even no one's going to download it either for free. And so it's just one of those things. And here we go. We have 2 free jazz albums in the top 10. So I'm really impressed by people, by my fans. I'm very impressed. So let's go, we're going to turn this down. We're going to minimize that. And we are going to go to self-inflicted memory loss. that would be funny, wouldn't it? Self-inflicted memory loss. So it's like a chick cuts her tits off. Hey, there's a sequel. We got a sequel. So it's just like Ghostbusters, where all the Ghostbusters were all women. Now the sequel for this one is going to be a chick cutting her tits off. So this was my first 99 song album, and this album was so awesome. I was so happy with how this turned out. It was a very unique idea by me. I recorded 99 drum tracks. So all of these were the same length so it's hard to tell because there's a sample before each one of these songs. So I don't know. I don't know how long each of the songs were. I think they were 16 seconds. I think maybe 20 seconds. I don't remember, but it was 99 tracks. I recorded 99 different drum tracks, and then I recorded 198 guitar tracks. So there were two guitar tracks per song. And then after I recorded all of those things, once again, just like with the spontaneous synaptic mutations, I just recorded one instrument at a time, and I didn't listen to anything else. I was just listening to the instrument I was playing. And then all the instruments were added together at the end. And so it just sounds like complete noise, and everything was randomly added together. So that was really interesting. And so we're going to listen to that. This one does have vocals. I actually wrote lyrics for this album. They were very juvenile, and I did not publish them, but there are lyrics. So let's go to self-inflicted memory loss. Now, I do know a couple of my favorites on this one. I'll put my very favorite first. My very favorite song is You Need Glasses. Oh, so I'll talk about that as well. I'll talk about it after we listen to this song.
You need glasses! You need glasses!
Yeah, so that sample at the beginning, You Need Glasses, so basically I recorded my TV. I hooked up my one of my mixers to my TV, and I lined it into my computer, and I recorded the audio from my TV, like about an hour of audio where I was just changing channels. And so the You Need Glasses one, I think that was from like some sort of Western TV show. So like, cowboys, some old timey Western, I feel like, but there's a whole bunch of random stuff. Like part of the charm of this album are all of the samples, because there are a lot of different ones, and some of them are really funny. So let's go to, and this one's Christopher. My name is Christopher. It just so happened that when I was recording this one channel, the name Christopher was in the title, and I thought, hey, that's perfect because that's my name. and I can add that to the album.
What do you see as the basic problem with Christopher?
Worry is a fruit.
Knives, spoons.
Fast beats.
Okay, so like the samples are very varied. And there's this one sample that I picked up. The Olympics were going on. So the 2016 Olympics were going on while I was recording the samples. And I got this really hilarious sample from the Olympics. And here it is right here.
And if she's screaming, you know it's good.
And if she's screaming, you know it's good. So if I remember correctly, it was this real butch chick who, I think it was the hammer throw. So she did her hammer throw. It went in the air, and then she knew that it was going to be her first place throw. So she started screaming, and then the commentator makes that line: "If she's screaming, then you know it's good." And so you can make it sound sexual, right? And so I thought, but it was the perfect sound sample. So just one of those funny coincidences that happened. So I absolutely love this album. I listen to this album so much. I want to make it a sequel to this eventually. So let's figure out what the next one is. The next one is Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror. Oh, okay. This is a classic. This is our first classic album. Classic. So this one, I believe this one, okay, let's go. I'll talk about this here. Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror. So this is the 2006 one. Now, originally, so I have multiple Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirrors because like it had different recording sessions. I had different recording sessions for this album. I was making a really big album. So, this album, The Last Breath of the Dying, and Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror, the complete version, those were the two albums that were released on Blood Bucket Productions. I had signed a contract for 2 albums on Blood Bucket Productions, and one of them was Last Breath of the Dying. And then the second one, I was making this really huge album, Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror, and I was recording the songs during different years, during different sessions. And originally, this listing here for Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror contained all 37 tracks from Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror, the one that was released on Blood Bucket Productions. However, I forget when I did this. It was several years ago. I split up. Please don't crash, you fucking idiot. I split up all of the Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirrors because to give like a more accurate discography, because I did release them sort of on my website or on Napster or whatever as I finished them, but then they were sort of all combined together into an album for Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror for Blood Bucket Productions. So this, even though this one says it's only for 2006, it originally on Bandcamp as well, it had 37 songs. You can see there's shard 37, but it's missing shard 1 to 17. But I think we're just going to listen to a couple of these. So this was released in 2006. This was my first, trying to think here. I had recorded demo versions, some demo songs where I play drums. So I started playing drums in 2002, in 2003. And I started to record some demo tracks. And then 2004 was another demo track. I was basically sort of practicing and really trying to get better so that I could play blast beats. And this album has a lot of blast beats on it. You can ignore the text cover right here. The image in the back is the real cover. I went through this phase of writing a lot of text on my covers, on my Bandcamp covers, but those weren't the original covers. So yeah, we're going to listen to this. So this is me after playing drums for like 3 years. And I was getting pretty good at doing the blast beats. So the recording quality is quite raw, but I do like it. I do like how it sounds. So let's go to Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror right here. Okay, so I definitely know which songs I like in this one. I'm just trying to think which one we should listen to. I think I'm going to listen to this one first. Yeah, I really like that song. Very chill at the beginning. That's the thing with this album. It's got some really chill, clean guitar, and then just full-on death metal / black metal as well. So it sort of goes from between the two, and I really like how this album turned out. I still really like it to this day. 2006. So I recorded this in 2006. So that was 18 years ago. Wow, that's kind of crazy, to be honest. So there are some more songs. I mean, we could definitely listen to a bunch of them, but Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's enough. So we'll go to the next album then. We have two left. So for Trapped in Broken Mirror, and then we have Vague Evolving Patterns. Yeah, Vague Evolving Patterns. So this was actually done for a songwriting challenge on Metal Archives, I believe, and you had to write a 20-minute long song, and so that's what we did. And I ended up recording this, the drums and guitar, the right and left guitar. There are a couple guitar sections that are down the middle. So normally with guitar, I record a right channel and a left channel guitar that I pan in the right and left channels. And then sometimes there's a guitar in the center channel that is like, it's either a guitar solo or it's a clean guitar, something like that. And so the clean guitars, the guitars in the right and left channel, it was a full take, 20-minute long take, and the drums were a full take, 20-minute long take. And then I think there are a couple guitar solos in that song, and those were recorded sort of when they showed up. So, but yeah, I mean, recording that song was challenging because it's 20 minutes long. So let's try and see if we can figure that out. Here it is right here. Now, one thing about this song, once again, the drums are too loud, but I want to view a list. Okay, here we go. So which one is it? It's this one. So this song, it's sort of arranged in sections. Like it has different movements, I guess. And there are sort of, this is sort of math rocky at the beginning. It has several math rock elements in it. There's a thrash metal element later on. There's a black metal element here and there. There are a couple parts in this that I really like. It's just I haven't listened to this song in so long. I don't remember exactly. So I'm gonna like seek through. By the way, The Crow is on TV right now. I'm watching The Crow, the movie The Crow. I forgot about this part. Oh my God. So this part, it has like a section, the drumming, it's like my free jazz drumming, but then it has hits that go along with the music. I'm just wondering, is this the first time I ever did that? Because I've done that in subsequent songs. It's just, wow. It's like I'm encountering an old friend or something. This part is super chill. And then I think, if I remember correctly, there is a sound sample of coyotes that shows up. And that is a sample that I recorded myself. I was recording vocals for this song, and it was either in the summer or in the fall or something, but I had my door open, and it was at night. So the door was open because to let the breeze in. And I heard the coyotes howling outside. And so I had my microphone, and I ended up bringing it over to the door and recording a sample of the coyotes, and I added it to the song. So it is a legitimate recording of coyotes that I recorded myself. Damn. Well, I haven't listened to that song in a long time. I was really getting into it there. I got to start writing some more music like this. Did not mean to do that. Okay, so now we have one left. This is Tragic Moral Illusions with a whopping three copies sold. Okay, so let's go to TII. Where would it be? 2015. Okay, so this, before we do that, let's go over here. Tragic Immoral Illusions, here it is right here, 2015. This was for another Metal Archives songwriting challenge, and so you had to write a black metal song. That was the only part of the challenge, and I ended up writing a black metal album. And so we had 2 months to do it, and I wrote, recorded, and submitted the album and released the album in the span of 2 months. And I recorded the drums and guitar in a full take with no edits. And so the songs themselves aren't very complicated, but I mean, it was challenging to do all that in the span of 2 months, but it was also very fun because this was like my first black metal album, I feel like. That's actually not true. I had like a black metal EP, I guess, the year prior to this. But this is my first full album, first full black metal album. And so I'd always wanted to do that, and I finally did it for this. So I had a lot of inspiration. And so, yeah, we're going to listen to some of this then. Yeah, if I remember correctly, this song has a cool outro, so we're going to try the outro. That hi-hat, that reminds me of like Christmas, I guess, like sleigh bells or something. I don't know why. It snowed for the first time this morning, so maybe I just have snow on the mind. there's a guitar solo coming up, and we haven't listened to any guitar solos, so my songs rarely have a guitar solo, but we're heading towards the guitar solo. And once we hit the guitar solo, I will change the song. Okay, so there was that song. Now, I think my favorite song might even be the third one. Okay, so there you have it. Look at the visualization. The visualization was going apeshit right there. So that is, yeah, those are my most popular albums, my 10 most popular albums, and I'm fine with those. It would have been nice to, I'm trying to think if there were any like egregious omissions. I'm not sure if there were or not. I don't think so. I think most of the egregious omissions were just free jazz stuff that only I like. So, I mean, I think they probably got it right. All right. So what I want to do, I'm going to go back here. We're going to put the background music on again, I think. Or should we do that? No, we're going to look at the plays. We're going to look at the downloads. Okay, so we still have some more stuff to do. I just have to see how long we've been doing this. An hour 46. Let's see if we can do this under 2 hours. Okay, so those were the most popular albums by purchases. So now we're going to do it by downloads. So let's see how it differs. You can see there is a difference so far. So Sanity's Unnecessary Elaborations, this was first place originally. Okay. And it still is first place with the downloads. It got a lot of downloads as well. And then second place is The Last Breath of the Dying. This is from 2001. This is from 23 years ago. This was my first full album. And so recently, actually, it got a shitload of downloads. I don't know why. I don't know if it'll show up as well. Okay, let's go to... No, it doesn't show up. It must have been longer than 60 days ago. Okay. But yeah, within like the last few months, I don't know why it got so many downloads, but it got like 40 extra downloads or something. I'm not sure why, but it did. Now, this was sort of that album, Last Breath of the Dying. I made this when I was 18 years old. Like, I finished it when I was 18 years old. Released when I was 18. So I was just a little kid. Yeah, 2001. And it was released by Blood Bucket Productions in 2005. So I had originally wanted to put vocals along to it. However, I lost my voice and I never wrote any lyrics. I was just making noises. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just release it as instrumental. However, I think one of the songs, this one did have vocals. I did put vocals on this. I did have vocals on a couple of the other songs, but just in certain sections. And I just didn't end up using them for whatever reason. But we can listen to one of these songs. Yeah, we might as well, right? So let's go to The Last Breath of the Dying, wherever it is. I don't know where it would be. Manufactured on demand? No. It's got to be ISO, right? Yeah, here it is right here. So which is a good one? Which is a good song? By the way, one of these screams is Jennifer Love Hewitt in one of the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. I don't know if it's that one or if there's one that comes later. I might be thinking of another song. So I don't know if you can notice, but this is using a drum machine. So I hadn't started playing drums yet. I was using a program called Virtual Drummer. So I programmed all of the drum beats. It was a really cool program. And so let's listen to another song. What's another? I only like a couple of the songs on this because it's so old. It is so old.
Play with forces you don't understand, or you will suffer the consequences.
Okay, I really like that part of the song. It's very interesting. I did a lot of audio editing actually on that album where I added sound effects. I remember going online to various sound effects websites back 23 years ago, 23 and 24 years ago, looking for sound effects to use. And I was getting familiar with the audio software editing and whatnot. But yeah, I remember for that album, I had to bring the family computer into my room in order to record it. And I recorded the entire album in a week. So that was pretty fun back in the day. So I think we only have a couple left. So that is The Last Breath of the Dying. And then we have Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror. Yes, that appeared on the list. We have, so here's another one. Escaping the Spiral Labyrinth. This one's only been bought one time. But it does have a lot of downloads. I'm not sure why it has a lot of downloads. I think I did post it on this one music forum, and I guess it got a bunch of downloads from there. This album, I really like this album. This album is actually, I think it's my first album that has vocals on every song. So this is like my introduction for vocals. Like 16 years after I started my band. Now, obviously there's been vocals on previous songs, but there was no album that had vocals vocals were always like sort of a separate thing. It was just like a complementary instrument to the music. Whereas with this album, it was more like a regular band where there was vocals on every single song. However, I did not write lyrics for this album. I was reading from a script of an episode of Star Trek Next Generation. It was The Schizoid Man. So I downloaded a script, what's that called? A transcript off of the internet. Someone had transcribed a whole bunch of Star Trek episodes, and I got one for this one. The reason I picked this episode because I remember this one part in one Star Trek episode. I didn't know it was this episode, but it was where Data grows a beard, and then he's talking to Geordi, and I don't know if it was Dr. Crusher or if it was Troy, but he was asking them how it looked, and there's one specific thing he says where if I stroke it thusly, you can see there's thusly, but that's that part, the thusly, where he's stroking his beard. I never forgot that, and I figured out what episode it came from, and it came from this episode, and so I was reading from this episode, and so it actually turned out to be there were some cool vocal moments. So when the lyrics are already there, when you're not writing lyrics, it ended up being very interesting. So I don't know, that'd be a cool thing to do, to not even write lyrics to music, just write a whole bunch of lyrics and then fit the words into the music. I think that would work out pretty well. But yeah, this album was like the recording quality is very raw. So I recorded this entire album with only one microphone, which normally isn't crazy, except when you go to record drums with one microphone. You can record everything else with only one microphone, but recording drums with one microphone is, to be honest, pretty ridiculous. And so I remember putting the microphone so pretend I'm sitting in my drum throne. And so my snare drum's here, tom, I don't know if I had 3 toms or 2 toms. I think I had 3. Tom, and then my kick, my right leg is on the kick drum. And so the mic was like right here, right above my leg. And it was trying to get sound from everything. And so, I mean, the sound quality is not great, but I was able to hear each part of the drum. And so, I mean, if you can do that, then even if the sound is not the greatest, if you can hear everything, then you've already won, in my opinion. So I was really happy with that. So we have to figure out where that is now. That is 2013, Escaping the Spiral Labyrinth. Okay. So there are some good songs on this one. I'm trying to think of what the good songs are. Let's go with 13. I don't remember that. I remember liking this one. Yeah, so that's that album. I really like how it sounds. I mean, you can hear everything. It's just, I mean, it sounds very raw, but I'm really happy with that. And so what's next? I think we only have one left. Spatial Lacerations. Oh, so Everything Else of Death. This was like a compilation of all my old Time of Death, of all of my old unreleased Time of Death stuff. So I don't think this even exists anymore. Yeah, so Everything Else of Death was a compilation of all my old Time of Death stuff, and then I ended up just sort of releasing it on its own. Each release on its own, as opposed to having it all in the compilation. So that would include all of the Time of Death stuff, with the exception of The Last Breath of the Dying, and with the exception of the Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror stuff. So I'm not going to listen to that stuff because there's a whole bunch of it. But yeah, there's a lot of Time of Death stuff. And then we have one more, which is Inside the Cell. So Inside the Cell was, I think if I remember correctly, it was another songwriting challenge on Metal Archives, and you had to do like a thrash. It was a thrash challenge. And so I was a very big Slayer fan, so I don't know what the saying is. I can't remember what the saying is, but I was channeling my inner Slayer and also my inner Exhumed when I was doing Inside the Cell. So it's very normal sounding. Actually, the previous album that we just listened to was fairly normal sounding at times as well. But the sound quality in this one is pretty bad. But we'll listen to a song, not a full song. We'll listen to a little bit of it. All right, so which one is it? It's this one. Now, this one also featured a Slayer cover, but I don't like it as much as the original Slayer song, so I'm not going to listen to it. So, okay. Okay, we are back. All right, so I think that's going to be it for the video. I had a lot of fun. Actually, we could browse a little bit more in terms of plays as well, but I feel like we've already done a lot. So yeah, we're gonna save plays for another day, and that's plays for songs, so we can listen to. Yeah. I was gonna add this all to one video, but we'll separate it into another video because it's already been like 2 hours. So I think it's even been over 2 hours now. 2:09. Jesus F Christ. So one thing I wanted to do, actually, that I forgot to do, I did it in the first iteration of this video that I'm apparently scrapping now, but I wanted to click on my photo here, and I wanted to open image in a new tab. Holy F. Okay, we were supposed to do that after, but I forgot to zoom out. So here is me. This is me. I forget when I took this. This was taken a couple years ago, I guess. I should probably update my picture, but I mean, I look the same, I guess. One thing I've been noticing lately is that I have these white hairs in my chin right here, and they're sort of all over my chin now. And I was also curious what color my eyes are. So there's my eyes. There's my eyeball. I think it's blue. Pretty sure it's blue. Is this too much? Is this gross? Are we entering like scientific doctor's study stuff? I mean, I'm looking at my tear duct and it looks kind of gross because I can see like a hole right here. I think this is too much. But in terms of my eye color, I feel like it's probably blue, right? I don't know. Okay, let's zoom out. So that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I honestly did enjoy this video. By the way, Mia Kirshner's on the TV right now. She is really... I forgot. This must have been where I've seen her from. This is The Crow Part 2. I remember watching this, and I remember her now. It's just... and I've seen her in many other things afterwards, but this was probably my introduction to Mia Kirshner, which is sort of a revelation for me because I've completely forgot about this movie. I haven't seen this movie since I saw it way back in the day. It's been so long since I've seen this movie, and I saw it like a week or two ago because it's coming on TV. And it reminded me that Mia Kirshner's from there, and this is probably where I saw her from. Now, I forget what I was talking about, but yeah, I think this is what I was talking about. I really enjoy going through my old music here. It was better than I thought it would be. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking, it was worse than I thought it would be. It's worse than you thought it would be. But in my case, it was better than I thought it would be. Because I hadn't listened to a bunch of that music in a long time. Normally when I listen to my own music, I'm listening to the free jazz stuff, like this octopus core stuff, where it's like noise. So that's what I enjoy listening to these days. I go less towards the more composed music, and I head for the more abstract, noisy stuff. So it was interesting to revisit some of these classics of mine, and yeah, 27 copies. Who the fuck can compete with 27 copies? That's just rockstar territory. Good luck selling 27 copies in this economy.